So here's a quick pickup video. This is just from a trip I took to like the Cincinnati area. Just did a little bit of pickups while I was on vacation over there. Went to a few shops, a few flea markets, and just found some stuff. Really some random stuff. It's definitely a more random pickup than what I normally get. Just finding things that people were selling really, really cheap or getting like a box of stuff. So the first I'll start down here. I found two kind of sealed action replays for PSP. They're the same here. And those are kind of interesting since they're sealed. I know sometimes the action replays are kind of sought after. The PSP ones, I don't know if they're really that sought after, but it looks like it comes with a disc and then a little memory stick for it. I think I spent $5 for both of them. So like $2.50 a piece. So the controllers here, the two PlayStations here are PS1 um, and just a regular old PlayStation 1. Not in terrible condition, just dirty. This one doesn't have the component out, or RGB out, I should say. But I found those with a bunch of controllers and some random stuff. And I just bought it all. It was a case where he saw me looking at it. It's like $10 for the box. And I was like, how about $5 for the box? And he said, yeah. And I'm sure it was just leftovers. They probably had more early in the day or something like that. But, you know, for the $5, there's two systems in there. I'm going to pick it up. And it kind of had an interesting controller here. Had never really seen that one before. It's the AI PS Interactive. I haven't really looked it up or anything, but definitely an interesting gamepad. It's something I've never seen before. We'll see if it works, but it has a kind of control thing there instead of a joystick. Then we just have two regular Xbox controllers. The sticks are pretty beat up and no breakaway cable there. But yeah, this one's missing the knob on it. You know, just random stuff that was in there. You know, it's good for parts and stuff, but since I'm basically getting it for just about nothing, that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. It was a random, it looks like a Genesis wireless controller, maybe for one of those at games thing. Also this Xbox 360 wireless adapter, which is actually, I feel like it's kind of a good find. I don't know how much those normally go for, but it's interesting. But that was all from that box, so just some random stuff, like I said, very random pickup day. Same thing with the other sale. I found one of the Namco Museum players. You know, I'm going to test it out, but I actually sold one of those just recently. It was only like $10, but you know, I paid $1 for that, so it was worth it. And the guy, he actually had that, and then I also noticed he had this Game Gear case. And when I look inside, there is a Game Gear, which, you know, it's all in there, and it has the backs too, which is kind of impressive. But then I look in the next pocket, another Game Gear. It's pretty hilarious to me, just because I haven't had a Game Gear yet, and to find both, or to find two. Now, I'm sure, I haven't tested them, I'm sure that they probably both don't work. I've heard the stories about Game Gears. The case is kind of cool, though. But yeah, I've heard the stories where the capacitors or the screen needs replaced, so I assume both of those don't work. But I will find out. I think I had also picked up N64 Rumble Pack. Nice to see a nice legit N64 Rumble Pack. I picked that up and then set $1 on that, and he was fine with it. And then he also threw in the rest of these as well, basically kind of clearing out the gaming stuff on his table. But as a third-party trimmer pack, PS2 8 MB memory card, party, third-party N64 memory card. So yeah, just random stuff. You know, I felt like for a while I was seeing one thing like the Game Gears or the stick, and then I was just buying everything off the table because they were like, take it, or $1 for everything, and it's kind of crazy after a while. So the other pickup that I had, actually a kind of cool one, is a Wii nunchuck with the box. That was kind of surprising, you know, and it's all in there. It looks fairly new, like it wasn't used very much. But I thought it was cool to have the box there. They wanted 5. I think I offered 4. No, I offered 3, and they settled on 4. But kind of cool thing. If you're collecting, I think I'll probably keep it just to put it up on a shelf. So pretty neat. YouTubers like Sick Cooper, he has so many accessory boxes. It's kind of crazy. Like he's going for like a full set of all the different color N64 controllers, and at a certain point that's got to get crazy because that's a lot of shelf space dedicated to a box of an accessory, not even like the system or a box for a game. At one of the flea markets I went inside, I didn't buy a lot from the vendors inside. I bought a few things, but one thing I did buy was a box for Go-Go 13, and I had picked that game up recently. So I was glad to pick up the box. They did have the game in it, but I asked them if they would do just the box, and they did it. So I spent 13 on that. Seemed pretty good for box and manual, good condition, with the case too, protector I should say. Okay, so I'm just gonna go over the games real quick. The first thing, one of the sets I had bought, I think I bought these 3 for $1 or something like that. Or they just threw them in. These tops. Nintendo Game Pack cards. 3 here. Mario, Zelda, Princess on there. 3 scratch-up cards and 2 stickers. I just thought it was interesting. They kind of had them. These are 1989, it says on the back. So I'll kind of look those up. I might open 1 or 2, but maybe I'll do that and put it in the video if I do end up opening them. Copy of Wii Sports. I think I paid 3 for that, but Wii Sports, good condition. So it's always good to get in a copy of Wii Sports. Power Never Dies, it wasn't 5. This was an inside vendor that had like a 3 for 10 deal, so I picked up that. I don't think I have a Black Label version of it. Same deal, City Crisis. And this is one that is actually the spine. It doesn't have anything on it, and I looked it up, and I think there is a legit variant. I'm not sure about the information behind it, but I might look that up. But it's interesting that you can clearly see there the spine just has no label. So that'll be interesting to have on the shelf next to games with very clear labels, and just have one that's completely blank, and you're gonna be like, what game? What game do I have? The next one is Tokyo Extreme Racer Zero. I think this one was just legit. $3. Picked it up. These are all complete as well. For PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1, I'm still kind of working on getting those common games as I find them cheap, but if they don't have a manual, I'm not even picking them up because it's not worth it to try to find a manual later for cheap games, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. A nice little pickup. That was also another $3. I think this is one of my 3 for 10s. Secret Service. There's definitely a good series of Funhouse on Secret Service. Definitely one of their good gameplays when they can find games like that and play through them.
All right, here they come.
They always do that though. They always
Like
charge
Magic Mike?
past the entryway.
Well,
You get your
got
shotgun out.
You got slippery shoes. Whoa, you're right.
See? I told you.
Roller skates.
Pierce, it's genius. Laying down an oil slick right in front of the door.
Yeah, I think the last 4 here were from some shops. I don't remember, but they're just some regular prices. This was $4 for Earth Defense 2025. I do enjoy the Earth Defense series. This looks like, just looking at the back, it looks like it's 4.1 on the PC. But I picked it up. I'm a fan of the series, so I don't mind picking it up. I'll replay it pretty easily. I'm not collecting for Xbox anymore, but I did see this game it was $2, their Xbox games. It looked kind of interesting, Kingdom Under Fire Heroes. I still have an Xbox, so I could very easily give it a shot. Blue Side Studios. But it looked interesting enough that, yeah, I'll pay $2 for it. This one was $3, Dragon Blade Wrath of Fire for the Wii. Another game that just kind of looked interesting to me. Whether it's worth anything, doesn't matter. Oh, and the other part of it was the also D3 publisher, which is the same people who make Earth Defense Force. So that's another reason I picked it up. Might be bad, who knows? And then just a copy of Wii Sports Resort for 3. Um, I'm still on the train of picking up any Wii Sports or Wii Sports Resort because they're nice if I have a Wii system. I can put them in a bundle, or I mean, even alone they're worth like $10, $12. So I think they're good to pick up. But yeah, that was it for that entire trip. I wasn't really game hunting too much, but I got some interesting stuff. When I'm glad I did go out. The Game Gears, especially, those are my first ones. So I might just be going into the closet as broken Game Gears, but at least I got them in a nice little box for the set. So it's good stuff. So here is second pickup of August. I went back to a flea market that I go to. It's an amazing flea market. It's proven every time I go there that there's stuff to find. Even this time, the weather was actually not great. It was sprinkling, and I think that scared away a lot of vendors. It's out in the countryside, and half of the area was just completely empty. Not as big as it normally was, but I still found a bunch of stuff. I still got some good pickups. So it just proves to me that this is a really good resource for me. So I really like going back there. First, you can see I got two PlayStation bundles. The first one was just a PlayStation 1. It came with a stack of random PlayStation games. I actually got lucky with this time because not only did I got two PlayStation here, you can see, but I got 3 power cables and 2 AV cables. So normally, it's there. That's the part that's missing. And for the PlayStation here, I have 2 PS1 DualShock controllers, and they're both in good condition. They're just dirty. Also, 2 memory cards. You can see there. Very nice. So yeah, that was all for just the PlayStation bundle. I'll go through the games in a second here that I picked up. Didn't pick up too many games, unfortunately, but that's all right. As a part of that, I also got a PlayStation 2. Well, I'm sorry, this is a different deal. A PlayStation 2 here. Looks in pretty good condition. Not missing anything, not broken at all. So I'll be surprised if that doesn't work. PlayStation 2s usually work pretty well. And that one, of course, came with its own cables, and then PlayStation controller also in pretty good condition, just dirty. Pretty amazing. I've been running into a lot of controllers, that are missing the caps or something like that, or just damaged. But I'm happy to pick up 3 nice controllers. But the PlayStation bundle, the PS1 bundle, that was $20 for that. Also, this big stack of games that I'll go over. The PlayStation 2 I bought for $25, and it also came with the PlayStation 2 and a bunch of cords and stuff, some other things, and also a very nice 3DS. This is definitely the best pickup here, especially because this baby works just fine. Yeah, there we go. The 3D works. I reset it and tested it already. Games work in it. Has an SD card with it. But yeah, other than just being dirty, it works perfectly fine. Pretty amazing to find that. You can see there's this clear case on the top. I don't know if that's supposed to come off. I assume it's not, but it is dirty on parts of it. You can probably see there. So that is a little dirty, but I was amazed to find a 3DS, and they just wanted 5. The guy actually, that's right, this came with it, because the guy was like, oh yeah, I can't find the charger, but I'm pretty sure it works. I'll do 10, or if you want to buy the whole bundle, I'll just do 25 for all that. And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. I was willing to take a chance on it for basically it was $5. And then I think his daughter or someone found this, and they're like, oh, I bet that goes with it. And I asked, oh, what do you want for that? He's like, oh, you just take it with everything. So, really nice of him to do that. It's just a Power A car adapter, but hey, I'll take it. This is the same flea market where I found like 3 handhelds as well, like a DS, a DSi XL, and a original Game Boy. I got those really cheap too, so to find a 3DS as well, I was pretty excited about that. I actually don't even have a 3DS. I play my 3DS games on a 2DS that I bought a long time ago. So happy to finally have one of those and to have it working and to get it for an awesome price. But that's the kind of thing that makes me like I gotta go back to this flea market. I I would go. They have it twice a month, I think. I almost want to go every week. Every time it's open, I want to be there. Let me go ahead and show the games real quick. This was a part of that PlayStation bundle. You know, it's one of those where I actually only took one game up to them, and I was like, "Oh, how much do you want for this?" Like at $2. And then I asked about the PlayStation, and I was like, "Oh, how much were you wanting on the PlayStation?" Because I don't really need an extra PlayStation, but and they were like, "Well, do you want all of it?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I'll." How much do you want for all of it? And they were like 20. I was like, "Oh, okay." So the first one here is Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, PS3. Another Transformers: Dark of the Moon, PS3. Yeah, no idea why those are in there. Moto Racer. Actually, I think this one is missing. Yeah, it is. Empty case. Uh, NBA Shootout 2001. This was in the system, so I did check the system, but that's okay. NHL Face Off 99. And if you hadn't guessed it already, this is the one that I took up because I definitely wanted a Bushido Blade 2. I was really happy to see that. Always happy to pick up some Squaresoft titles. And I did check that it's in there, of course. The case is broken, but I'll replace it. But yeah, it's one of those stacks where it's like, nothing good, nothing good. Oh, Bushido Blade. Well, I will take that. World Series Poker 2008. It's missing the manual. And In the Groove, also missing the manual. So yeah, you can see just the randomness of the games there, but if I'm picking up $20 for all that stuff and then getting a nice game for my collection, that's perfectly fine for me. Okay, so here's some pickups from Friday in late August. Um, this is just before I'm about to go on a trip, but I still went out on Friday, went to some pawn shops and a Goodwill, and a trading store. And then on Saturday, I also did go out and went to some garage sales and stuff. So the first thing I got was a black Wii here for $20. This one I actually haven't seen one of these before, but this is one of the RVL 101s where it doesn't have the GameCube ports. I actually didn't realize that. I just picked it up and kind of assumed it had it. But yeah. So I don't know if that really affects. I assume it affects the price, But that's interesting because until I started really collecting, I didn't even know that they made models like that without the GameCube stuff. I kind of assumed it was on every model. But I picked it up mostly because you can see here, very nice Wii Sports Resort combo. It's going for a pretty good amount. Last I looked, I got to test it out, but it was a nice little pickup. That was at a Goodwill, actually. I should mention that. Sometimes Goodwills have good stuff, you know. Not always, but sometimes. From that same Goodwill, I got a few other things, actually. It was a good stop. I got this little DS case for $1. I might keep that. Kind of cool, actually. Holds quite a few. I don't know if that's really worth anything. Found 2 DS games that I wanted. Sonic Advance 3 and Sonic the Hedgehog. This says Genesis, so I assume it is just referring to the first game, but haven't tried it out, so not sure. It's a nice little pickup. That was at the Goodwill. It was at the front counter in like their little extras bin, and usually it's just crappy GBA games or something in there, but actually some Sonic games, so it's cool. $2 for cart only. Dynasty Warriors DS Fighters Battle. It's Dynasty Warriors. I didn't expect to be on DS, so pretty good pickup. Wish I had the case, but $2. I'm gonna pick that up, sure. L.a.noire for $2. Still kind of picking up interesting things for PS3. All the videos I see of l.a.noire just kind of focus on the terrible facial expressions.
Did anyone hear what he said?
No.
No,
I was
we were
gonna
making
say
the-
that's was that look like the face of a liar?
Yeah, that's truth. You know it's truth.
He's so smug about it.
I do love Funhouse did like an idiot detective series because you can't fail the case. You just do bad and get a bad grade, but you always have to get through the case. So pretty funny.
The way this game works is you have different mysteries you gotta solve, and
Right.
it doesn't matter if you solve them because the game will just keep going.
When
That's
do
why
you-
I'm calling this series
No, don't blame. Hold
Idiot
on.
Detective.
No, that's not. Wait a minute.
Closes every case. It's idiot detective.
I could steal another man's car, kill 2 guys in the street, and still get the job done.
Crazy Taxi on PS2. I did have Crazy Taxi, but my copy is really bad condition, so when I saw that, I picked it up. This I picked up from another pawn shop, actually. The only thing I picked up there, $3 for Mobile Suit Gundam Crossfire. Looked pretty interesting. Not a title you see every day. I think it is missing the manual, but for $3, I'll add that to the PS3 list. Another pawn shop I went to, they're having a sale, so I picked up Harvest Moon Light of Hope. They had 10 on it, but they went down to $7.50. A little more than I pay for usually, but that's okay. I like Harvest Moon, so happy to get that. And $1 they had Rival Turf, which is I guess is a beat 'em up actually, pretty cool. This place they had a bunch of older games, but I've been to this pawn shop before, and they have the dirtiest games I've ever seen. Like they really just need to throw them out because they are literally like caked in some sort of black black dust and mold, and most of them are ripped or missing the labels. And most of them, of course, are sports games anyways, so the fact that I even found one that's actually decent looking and it's not a sports title, I was pretty surprised. But I will take it. So the last pickups were from a trade-in store that I've been to. They get some lower prices on stuff, so I like to pick up some common games from them. You know, I'm not going to find anything crazy, but the first one, Tales of Versus, $4. This is a Japanese PSP game. I actually need to check if PSP allows for cross-region. I actually don't know, but I think it does because I think I do actually have a Gundam game as well. So, you know, for $4, I wanted to check it out, just to see what it's like. But you can find cool stuff like that at this trade-in store I went to. Interesting pickup is a game cartridge for Factor 5. I have no idea what this is. Some weird game console thing, and this has 5 games in it. But yeah, I no idea what it was. It was only $1, so I thought I'd pick it up just to see if it would sell for something. Picked up Load Runner for $2. Back is badly colored. I might replace that, but still a good pickup. And into that N64 collection. $4 for this is Mag Max, or maybe Mac Max. I'm not sure actually. I might have to clarify that, but looked interesting. Only $4. So continuing, you know, I tried to slow down on NES pickups, but I keep getting them just because, you know, I'm finding them cheap, and NES seems to be cheap, so I'm gonna keep picking them up, keep building that collection. This one is Cybernoid Fighting Machine. Just another. This is also $4. Another nice little pickup. Add to the collection. So yeah, that was a Friday. I think the Wii pickup was probably the best thing, just because it was $20 and I got a game that's worth at least $20, and then a Wii on top of it. So pretty good.